A United Nations brigade tasked with neutralizing armed groups in the Congo has assisted that country's army in clashes with eastern rebels on Monday, ending in effect a brief lull in days of fighting that has killed and wounded dozens. The violence is the most serious in months, and it is the first major test with the newly deployed UN Intervention Brigade, which has an unprecedented mandate to launch military operations against M23. The brigade has fought alongside Congo's army several times since the latest fighting erupted on Wednesday. The M23 rebels said they were targeted by airstrikes and they came under heavy weapons fire on Monday afternoon. Let's get some more details on the developments in the DRC. We're now joined on phone by CCTV's Isabel Nakiria. She's next door in Uganda, in the Ugandan capital of Kampala. Isabel, reports do say that clashes erupted on Monday between the rebels and the DRC's army, assisted of course by the UN Intervention Brigade. From your sources, what's the situation right now?
Thank you. From reports on the ground, I just heard that today there has been relative calm in the capital Goma and outside, where the clashes have begun some few days back. But an M23 spokesperson that I have spoken to says that they are threatened by the DRC government to continue bombing their positions in outside Goma and within Goma, where the fighting escalated. But the situation on the ground today is a bit calm. But of course, there's unrest, there's fear from many people that fighting could escalate and more people could be wounded and killed. Already, the UN probe has started on the deaths of 2 civilians that they allege were killed by the UN forces. But at the moment, we do not still know whether the details of that investigation will be out in any time soon.
Indeed. What about the humanitarian situation in the eastern DRC, especially in the wake of the violence? What's that like?
The humanitarian situation in the DRC now is full of unrest, and many people are unsure of what may happen next. Many of the civilians who have been displaced are clustered around some camps within Goma, and the reports say that about 10,000 of them are within the camp. But many of the aid workers who are there are also living in fear that anything could happen to them. So people who are there are so unsure what will happen to them next. In the hospitals, there are reports of hundreds of wounded people, and the doctors are treating them in hospitals. There are no details of how many people exactly have been wounded or how many deaths, but some reports say about 7 people have been killed since the unrest began 2 or 3 days back.
Indeed. We'll have to leave it there for the time being. Thank you very much for that update. That's CCTV's Isabel Nakiria on the phone from Uganda's capital, Kampala, with the latest details on the fighting across the border in the eastern end of the DRC.